Moving on to our next game, of course. This was the LGFA finals. History made, as I mentioned at the start of the podcast, by Kilkerrin Clonberne of Galway. They beat Donaghmoyne of Monaghan, of course, who are the absolute queens of Monaghan. They've had a stranglehold over that championship for years. They won this game by 13 points to 7. I mean, Olivia Divilly, player of the match, 5 points, absolutely outstanding. Chloe Miskell, 4 points. Louise Ward, 2 points. Of course, the daughter of the manager, Willie Ward. Just an incredible day for Kilkerrin Clonberne. Back-to-back All-Irelands for Kilkerrin. As I mentioned, their last year's one was their first ever, and now they've made it 2 in a row.
Yeah, big day for them, I suppose. Olivia Divilly, no stranger to success. I remember she did a number on Westmeath pretty much on her own over the summer for Galway as well. So, yeah, I think they'll be delighted, and obviously they'll be wanting to push on again next season. I think Francie Coleman will be slightly disappointed with Donaghmoyne. 13-7 makes it look like it was a somewhat close game. In reality, it was never in doubt. The chipped on scores at the end for Donaghmoyne kind of made it look somewhat close, but I think it's a disappointing return for Donaghmoyne. As you said, the Queens generally and always thereabouts, but for Francie Coleman, who's been I think must be a quarter of a century at that club at this stage, to be beaten in such a manner, I think will disappoint him. Perhaps, I suppose, shows where the standard is now in ladies football, that Kilkerrin were so strong that they were able to kind of stroll past a team with so much experience, I should say. I'd like to see next season who'll be able to take them down. Be interesting. I know Fox Rock kind of are strong enough as well. There'll be teams coming from all over the place, but these ladies will be hard bet next season for sure. And as long as Olivia Divilly keeps playing,
if Kilmacud can get Lauren McGee back, I think she'd be a massive boost to them, because obviously she was gone for the semi-final against Donaghmoyne. She's probably their best player. I think if she came back, I think maybe they'd give it a right good go. But we also have to talk again. Another example of a really fast start kicking them on. The first 5 minutes, Kilkerrin were 4 points to 0 up. I mean, that's a real statement of intent for the rest of the game. And not only that, they were 8-3 up at half time. And then I'd like to throw in the period that Chloe Miskell was, it was Hannah Noon. She was sin-binned in the second half. And during that time, Chloe Miskell tagged on 2 points. And Kilkerrin just didn't blink. And that was the stage where you're looking at thinking, if Donaghmoyne are ever going to make a push, now is the time. When Kilkerrin are, a player down, they've had someone sin-binned. But I thought Kilkerrin managed that period fantastically. And then Miskell getting the 2 points, that was pure oxygen for them. And then even though Cora Courtney, I think at midfield, she was brilliant, 3 points from her. I think that they were never going to catch them once they didn't make sufficient ground in that sin bin time.
Yeah, I think the quick start was, I can't remember exactly, but it was a lot of lost kickouts for Donaghmoyne, if I remember rightly. I think Miskell, Ward, Divilly were all heavily involved, and very little of it came from their own backline. A lot of it came from just turned over kickouts. And then, been down a player when Hannah Noon is gone. Donaghmoyne, should have taken advantage, but Kilkerrin never really looked kind of pushed. They at no point, I think, did they ever go, oh Jesus, we're down a player, we're in a bit of trouble here. If anything, they just kept going the way they were going. I think Sarah Gormley at fullback has to get a bit of a mention. She managed to keep Lauren Garland scoreless at full forward, which is quite an achievement. And I've done a lot of commentary on the ladies' football this year, and the full forward in most of the games that I've played, it's usually been a full forward versus full forward battle in every game that I've looked at. And to keep your opposition, keep your marker completely scoreless in the game is quite an achievement. In an All-Ireland final, it's particularly impressive. So she definitely deserves a mention. She got no real mention in any of the articles or newspapers, but I thought, personally, she should be very pleased with it. But Kilkerrin will be hard stopped. Yeah, if Laura McGee comes back, might make things interesting next year. And yeah, she did miss out on the crucial semi-final. But overall, I think the right team won, and I think the right team won comfortably enough, I suppose. Donaghmoyne, will be back again next year, though, as we'll expect. We could get a repeat of the same final again next year. Who knows?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they came back. I mean,
Mm.
it's pretty much. I'd be stunned if they don't win Monaghan. So then, if they get
Yeah.
into the Ulster Championship, I mean, they're already on their way.